the medical council has specific materials that you need to study. Now, my point is very simple, and you may laugh at this picture, but this is what I think a lot of IMGs are doing. Many people are using the wrong tool for the right job. Many candidates, I see it all the time. I want this, I want that. And I'm like, so don't you know that the medical council has given you books you need to study? For example, let me say this. If you go to the cardiothoracic chapter, in cardiothoracic surgery, the typical candidate will read chapter by chapter by chapter. But there's only one chapter in the cardiothoracic section which is relevant for the QE1 exam. And that chapter is entitled Mediastinal Masses. And why am I saying that? Because I have learned the objectives back to back to back to back. And because I've learned the objectives back to back to back to back to back, I can pick any book candidates are using and can tell that this chapter is what is relevant for the exam. So why am I saying that? Because if you go through your MCC checklist, you will see that there is a chapter called Approach to Mediastinal Masses. All the other chapters, they are good for your medical knowledge, but they are not relevant for the exam. I'm looking at something here. Dr. Miriam said something. I spent a month reading Toronto Notes alone, not following the objectives, and made very little progress. Well, I didn't say it. Dr. Miriam is saying it. She's had an experience and she's sharing her experience. Look, doctors, but you can use Toronto Notes in an awesome way by picking the objectives and going into Toronto Notes and rather asking yourself, which chapters in Toronto Notes align with these objectives? So I'm very glad that Dr. Eugenia is sharing this. And Dr. Eugenia, thank you very much for throwing some light on this. Okay, so medical knowledge and guidelines evolve rapidly. Okay, why you should stick to the objectives. Using outdated materials may result in learning incorrect or obsolete practices, which could lead to errors in answering exam questions and in clinical practice. That is why I am on a journey. I am an apostle of saying, doctors, please stick to the objectives and the objectives alone. Why should you stick to the objectives alone? Because if you don't stick to the objectives alone, there will be inadequate coverage of topics. Some materials might not cover the breadth of topics required for the QE1. But assuming you've picked the objectives, you've picked it one by one, by one, by one. You finish this topic, you mark it. You finish this topic, you mark it. You know very well that you are covering everything. Doctors, please, as we study, as I said, just share the link with your friends so that they can all join, because they can join on their phones, they can join on their laptops, they can join on their iPad, okay? And relying on incomplete resources can result in an unbalanced understanding of the subject matter, making it difficult to perform well across all areas. Please, this is very critical. You'll be majoring in the things which are minor, and you'll be minoring in the things which are major. Okay? You'll be majoring in the things which are minor and minoring in the things which are major. Preparing with the wrong materials can lead to inefficient use of study time. This not only increases stress, but also reduces the time available to focus on high-yield topics and effective study strategies. So, for example, if somebody is going to write a QE1 exam, and someone asks me, Dr. Bruni, what is the high-yield topic I need to study? I'll just say, go to the MCC and look at the way they've distributed their questions and start focusing on the things which really matter. Just start focusing on the things which really matter. So if you want to know the high-yield stuff, just go to the medical council and just start, following the things which really matter.